Hey, today we're discussing one of the 11 illustrated books that I did back in the day, which are now being updated, redesigned, and basically redone by my own company, Icon Editions, now that the rights have reverted to me, which is far preferable than working as a serf to publishers. The particular book, and I only have old copies left and the new covers aren't printed, so will you bear with me? This one is called The Beatles Album. I didn't like this title, but it was picked by the publishers. You see, when they give you lots of money, they feel they have the right to fuck around with what you do, so this is it. And it was funny because at this point I was becoming quite famous. I don't know which book this was. I wrote 30, so somewhere within there, but sort of in the middle of things. And I did this for Viking Penguin. And I was quite an honor because I did the Beatles album, and it's by Geoffrey Giuliano. And then another book came out at the same time, or just a couple of weeks later, called the Beatles album by Julia Delano. So they were like people like copying me or trying to like fake people out to think that it was me. And this was basically, is reflective of my extensive record collection, which sadly no longer exists. And it came out in paperback and hardback and many different languages and so forth. But now, in 2016, it comes out as a digital download and also as a print on demand. So if you want one, we print one, as opposed to the old days where they print up, 300,000 and they sit in the warehouse and they're shipped. No. You want one, you order one, any way you want it, and we'll get it to you. I should say to you that, God, what can I tell you about this book? I had a horrible editor that kept saying, write more, write more. And I said, well, the pictures should do the talking. No, write more. But she did push me, and now I'm glad that I wrote more. But what you don't want to do when you write books, kiddies, is just write fucking filler to fill up the pages. It has to be quite meaningful. So this book, I can also tell you that I got ripped off by the publisher in England that wrote it, or that published it rather, and successfully sued him, which was wonderful. In England, they don't screw around for too long. You file the suit, and pretty quick. I got this call at 4 in the morning. Hey, you just made a lot of money from this guy, because they'll come over and put a lock on your door in England if you screw around. So the Beatles album is one of the 11 illustrated books that I did. I feel very privileged in my career because not only did I do the trade biographies, which are generally 100,000 word, books that have maybe some photo sections, but they're essentially textual books, text. But I also got the opportunity to do illustrated books wherein I could show my collection and photographs of the Beatles that other people had not seen. This I will tell you. The London Times once said, well, they said many things about me, but in particular they said that Giuliano's certainly a competent enough writer, but his real thing is that he knows what to write about. And the Beatles certainly have turned out to be a perennial and evergreen subject that generation after generation is interested in. Which is reflected by the sales, which go on and on and on. Paul McCartney makes $47 million a year, even now. John Lennon, 12, and even though he's dead, Ringo, 6 million, and George, 6 million. So there's a great and continuing interest in the subject of the Beatles. Now, had I don't know, liked a band other than, let's see, maybe, I don't know, Air Supply, and and had written 30 books about Air Supply. I don't think I might have sold some at the time, but I don't think I'd be here talking to you about them now. It's only because it's the Beatles, you see. So yeah, I enjoyed, as I said, putting these books together. Now, one of the, my books are a little controversial. That was another reason I did illustrated books, because it was a sort of vacation from people saying I was a son of a bitch by me writing like very personal things about the Beatles' personal lives. And these are just like celebrations and pictures and so forth. These books, people would say, and it's true, that Giuliano has a wonderful and varied collection of images, which I still own, and never repeats one, as many other people do, in their books. So you might see the same picture in 4 or 5 books on the same subject with other people, but not me. I refuse to repeat any image in another book. So if you have all my books, you'll have lots and lots of images that you've never seen before, even today. And we're always getting more. So that's the Beatles album. I'm Geoffrey Giuliano. I hope that you'll check out iconeditions.net, which is where you'll be able to buy them. And of course, primarily, I suppose, Amazon and the other places that they sell books now. But not yet, because, well, yet. I don't know when you're going to see this, but we're still, as I sit here in mid-2016, we're still putting them all together because it's a hell of a lot of work. But thank you for your time today. I appreciate that, and I hope you like the books. Bye-bye.